Alright, Shalom Akim. This is the brother CHAARAWTAZA again with GMS Florida, GMS Orlando. So today, what I want to just talk about is what it's like being a so-called black man or Israelite in America. Alright? This is mainly for you Edomites out there, so-called white people, and the rest of you nations, you Chinese and Arabs and all you people out there. Let you know what it felt like to be a so-called black man in America. Because a lot of times when we're out there teaching and we have so-called white people come up and we try to explain to them that we're still in captivity, and in their eyes they just can't see it. They just, they just don't understand. I think they do understand, they just don't want to face reality, and they don't want to admit that a lot of this shit is caused by them. So first thing I want to start with is growing up. So, and I'll talk from some of my experiences, and I'll try to get scriptures if I can to back it up. But I just want to, this is just a podcast, just talking. So, growing up in America as a so-called black male child, the first thing you experience is usually you grow up without your father. Now, this is something that's programmed. It's by the system. I mean, your mother, usually, a lot of times the women, they fall subject to the so-called white man, the system. And they throw their baby daddies, as they call them today, or the fathers of their children under the bus. Now, that's not always the case. Sometimes you have men that's just immature and they don't want to be men. But a lot of times, you'll have men that actually want to take care of their children, but the woman, she's promised a check by these government agencies, so she's going to go get that check. How do I know that to be the case? I once applied for public housing, and I was married at the time, so I went to apply for the public housing, and they told my woman that, she would have to put me on child support for her to be able to get into public housing. Now, if she was a light woman, if she was a light woman, she would have put me on child support, got in the house, and then drugged me through hell using the system. So this system is made for the man to be kicked out, and that goes back to slavery. All right? Goes back to slavery. I know a lot of you so-called white people don't believe in the Willie Lynch letters and all that shit like that, but hey, it's true. We see the effects of it today, and that's one of the effects. The father's not in the house. Now, when the father's not in the house, that's how I grew up. My dad was deported. He wasn't in America, so I grew up without my father. So a lot of the things that the man would teach, I didn't know those things. All praise to YAHAWASHI. I learned from the elders. I learned a lot of the things of being a man and responsibility and stuff like that. I learned some of that from my mother, but I learned a lot from the elders at GREATMILLSTONE, and I learned a lot from reading these scriptures. Okay, but growing up without your father, you usually don't have that male, how do I want to say it? You usually don't get that discipline from a male. You don't learn discipline, and you don't learn responsibility as well, and you don't learn all the things that encompasses a masculine spirit. Okay? I learned those things later in life. So that's one of the things. So as I was growing up, I went through these things of not having a father in the house, having to learn all these things of being a man on my own. All right? And I do blame that I do write that off to America. Another thing is when you go to school, you gotta do the damn Pledge of Allegiance, and I'm having that problem with my children now. Why should I have to pledge allegiance to a flag and to a country that doesn't give a fuck about me? I know you so-called white people are gonna say, well, why would you say such a thing? We went through civil rights for black people, but that ain't shit, man. All right, that ain't shit, man. See, You want me to pledge allegiance to this damn flag, and you gonna force me to stand up every day and recite this shit in my head. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible. You see, I know all of this shit because they made me say it every fucking day to where I memorized it. And you know what that's called? It's called programming. And every day you program our children to pledge allegiance to your flag and your country, which was not made for us, which we're not equal in. We don't have an equal stake in this country. You can say all you want to that we do, but it's quite clear that we don't. All right? Me, as a so-called black man, all right? When I go out onto this street every day, I get up and I got to go drive or go do whatever. My life is being put in danger as a so-called black man. See, white people, you don't understand this. All right? You don't live this life that we live. When I drive out on the street, and I'll give you some examples. I go out on this street, and a sheriff pulls up behind me. All right? Let's say he pulls me over. You think he going to give me a fucking warning? He ain't going to give me no warning. And if I'm not making money, because most of the time Negroes, so-called black people, we're not making money. We're making minimum wage. Minimum wage, what, $8, $9? Fucking loaf of bread is what, $5, $6? That's half of an hour of work. That ain't living. So when this police pull you over, and he give you as much tickets as he can and write up bullshit, guess what? That takes a toll on your sanity, man. Not only that, he fucks up your whole life for a whole month. Because now you don't have no money to make ends meet. This is the shit that we live through every fucking day. Alright? I've been pulled over. I got pulled over probably about 2 months ago. A month or two ago. For it don't matter what I got pulled over for. It was a regular traffic violation that he pulled me over for. As he said in his mind. He pulled me over. He tells me to get out the car. And you know what he does? He pulls guns out on me. I'm in the car with my family. What do you think that does to the children when they see their father get out the car and a police officer is pointing a gun at him? What do you think those children think? At that instant, those children are scared. All right, my children were scared for my life. They thought that the police was gonna kill me. And who's to say he wouldn't have? I mean, look on your news. That's just a small part. You see Trayvon Martin, Mike Brown, you know, the Kijami, whatever his name is. I don't know his name, but that guy, you know, you see all these people on the news, but that's just a small percentage. People get killed every day, and they're not on the news. People get killed by these police officers, and these are black people, man. So when that police pull that gun on me, and I didn't do anything wrong, I'm just driving my car. I get pulled over. I'm not yelling anything or doing anything. He tells me to get out the car. He got his guns on me. He calls up backup, and they got their guns on me. What do you think that do to the children watching? That child is scared for their father's life and their life. And what else does it do? It undermines me as a man. Now my children feel like they can't be protected from me because the police pulled guns on me and they could have killed me and there was nothing I could do about it. This is a part of the life of a so-called black man in America. These are the things that we go through on a daily basis. I'm not a drug dealer. You know? For the most part, I keep the laws as best as I can. In your eyes, you would call me a good citizen. So why do we have to go through these things if America is so equal and free? Why when we go out in the streets and we talk and we tell you about how wicked this society is and how your society treats us, you act like you don't know what we're talking about and like we're racist? Don't you think that's quite racist? for a man, a black man, to get pulled over and have guns pulled on him? Just because? I don't want to hear no shit about no safety. What if I stop the police officer or a white man and pull guns on him? What do you think he'll do? He'll kill my ass dead. They don't do that to you so-called white people. That's not something that you get on a daily basis. They're not pulling guns on you. All right? I mean, the shit that I've gone through in this lifetime, boy. You know, being arrested for so-called cursing in public. Then when I told a police officer, look, that you can't arrest me for cursing in public because that law deals with nudity and shit. That's what it means by profanity. I think it was profanity or something like that. Not profanity, it was some other word, but I looked up the law and it was dealing with nudity. So I said, okay, well, show me the law. What you talking about? You know what he says? I'm going to show you the law. He just picks me up, hauls me off, and arrests me. Throw me against the car. He get in the car. He asks me, have you been to school? I don't want to answer his questions because I'm pissed the fuck off. So I'm like, I'm just going to be silent. Oh, well, that's why it's people like you. You just draining the society. You do nothing. Talking shit about me because I'm a so-called Negro. And he feel like I'm just a gangster. And let's be honest, man. That's how you so-called white people see us. You see us as leeches on your society. All right? As gangsters and thugs, and all we do is kill and murder, and we just up to no good. That's how you see us. And I don't want to hear no shit about you don't. Because if you didn't, then we wouldn't go through this shit. All right? I wouldn't be me as a regular, so-called citizen of the United States of America, be getting pulled over with guns in my fucking face for a fucking traffic violation. All right? That shit would not be happening. All right? I want to read this scripture. Psalms chapter 73. Psalm chapter 73. It says, for there are no bounds in their death, but their strength is firm. They are not in trouble as other men, neither are they plagued like other men. And you know what it's talking about? It's talking about you so-called white people. All right? You're not in bands like us. I mean, you're not, there are no bands in your death, and your strength is firm. It said, they are not in trouble as other men, neither are they plagued like other men. You're not in trouble like other men. You don't get pulled over and they got guns on you. Police got guns on you. You're not in a white neighborhood and a white guy's pulling you over and asking you, what are you doing here? Okay, I've been through that too. All right, down here in Florida, it's terrible. I was I was getting my car fixed by this mechanic, and he just happened to live in a white neighborhood. Out on the outskirts of Orlando. All right, so, me and the guy fixes my car. We jumping in to test drive it. We're driving up the neighborhood, and here comes a white man. He not even the police. He just following us. As I hit the roundabout, he rolls his window down, yells to me, "Can I help you?" I'm like, "Can you help me?" "No, I don't need any help." Then he asks again, "Can I help you?" So at this time, I'm getting kind of pissed off. Like, why the fuck? This is around Trayvon time too. I'm getting pissed off. Like, no, I don't need help. I just told you I don't need help. So the guy in the passenger seat, the mechanic, he could tell that I'm getting kind of pissed off with this guy. So he tells him, "Hey, I'm his mechanic. We're just test driving the car." Don't you know this so-called white man followed us for some time, just trailed us. This is the shit that we go through, man. That's why it says they are not in trouble as other men. And let's say that something happened. Let's say this guy just hauled off and from his truck started shooting into my truck and killed me. Do you think that this guy would have really went to jail for killing a nigga that was in the wrong neighborhood? He wouldn't have went to jail. All he would have said was I had a gun, because that's what you show on the news and in the media, in the movies. That's what you got the rappers rapping about. So all the society gonna say is, yeah, he probably did have a gun. He was black. He had braids. You know, he most likely had a gun. Okay, not guilty. I mean, this is the shit that we live through every fucking day. I give you another. I could just go down the fucking list, man. I could go down the fucking list. I'm gonna give another incident with these police. So I was out teaching the things that we believe. You know, white people go out and teach. Nobody bothers them. But when we go out and teach and we teach the things that we believe, oh, it's a problem then. So I'm downtown teaching, and there's always police downtown riding on their bike. All right? They never bother us because I think they're scared of us, but whatever. That's besides the point. I think they somewhat scared of us, and we don't do anything for anybody to bother us. All right? So I'm downtown teaching, me and another brother. And this white girl, she comes up and she's being very belligerent and just rude, man. And so we get tired of it, and I'm asking her man friend that she's with, to please take her down the street. And I'm asking them just like that, please, sir, can you take your friend down the street, because she's being very belligerent and she's drunk. So she pulls out her titties, right? Now this her man friend, I don't know if he was a boyfriend or what, he's standing right there. She pulls her titties out in front of us. I don't know why. Like, just pulls her titties out, says some shit, and then walks off. And then I'm sitting in the camera like, this bitch just pulled her titties out. So I guess she heard me say, this bitch just pulled her titties out. So she runs back. He runs back. He yells, nigger! Calls us a nigger. She hits the camera. The shit falls in the road. Car almost ran it over, and it shatters. It breaks. The camera just shatters and breaks. Now me, I can't really hit him back, because if I hit him, the police standing right there looking. Might I add, the police was looking at us the whole time. He's standing there just looking. A white police officer. He's standing there looking at the whole incident unfolding. He's not stopping it. He sees us being cordial and asking her to leave, asking the guy to take up the street. He sees the titties come out. He sees them run back. He hears the guy yell nigger. He sees her. He watches her knock the camera down, and he's just looking. And I'm looking at him like, you not gonna do nothing about that? Like, you just gonna stand there and look? So I guess from him seeing that, he comes back. He comes down. All right. Like, after some time, after me staring at him for like 2 minutes, like, you really just gonna fucking stand there? He comes down, and the girl, she's acting like a stupid ass white girl, getting emotional. Oh, I'll just write you a check. And I'm like, yeah, you should write a check because you broke my camera. She said, how much the camera? The camera is for $500. Okay, I'm gonna write the check. And the police officer tells her, no, man, put the checkbook away. You don't have to write a check. So I'm like, okay, what? He's like, put the checkbook away. You don't have to write a check. He's like, okay, you can go ahead and leave. He didn't arrest her. He didn't arrest the guy. He didn't do nothing. He lets her and the guy leave. And he's about to just tell everybody to leave. And I'm asking him like, yo, okay, she broke my camera. You know what? Are we gonna do? You gonna fill out a police? Oh yeah, I'm gonna fill out a police report. I'll do it later. Somebody will call you. You think I ever got a fucking call from the police department? fuck no. He took down my name and my phone number. Nobody ever contacted me. So this is the shit that we go through. And you wonder why we stand out there and we tell you that this society is wicked and this society don't give a fuck about us and the Most High gonna destroy it. This is the injustice that we get. And you so-called white people, you act like you don't know what the fuck we're talking about when we sitting there telling you that we're being, your society doesn't treat us worth shit. And we don't care to be treated worth shit no more. We just want justice, man. We just want the Most High to come down and destroy this damn society along with your ass. Because you don't want to give us justice. You don't want to be fair with us, man. You ain't trying to be fair. You just talk a good game, man. That's another scripture. Oh, matter of fact, it says, therefore pride compasseth them. Psalm 73:6. Therefore pride compasseth them about as a chain. Violence covereth them as a garment. Their eyes stand out with fatness. They have more than could wish. They are corrupt and speak wickedly concerning oppression. They speak loftily. You don't give a fuck about, like, when we out there telling you about how we oppress, you might, some of you might agree with us, but you really don't give a fuck, man. See, as long as it's not for your benefit, you don't care, man. As long as we're not for America and fighting your wars and just being good old American citizens and just trying to make America last forever, you don't care unless we're doing that. And the problem arises because we don't care about America, man. This ain't our country. We figured that shit out. We were brought here as slaves, and we still slaves. And you don't see us as nothing but slaves. You don't see us as no equal human beings. Why would you? Why would you? Your actions doesn't show it. You know, they say actions speak louder than words. Hey, your actions speak very loud. I mean, if I go through my life and I look at all the events with so-called white people and the police, your action says that you really don't give a fuck about me and my life and my children and my freedom. You don't give a fuck about it. The only time you'll give a fuck about it is if you have an agenda with it. If it's something that'll benefit you. I mean, we were out there talking one day. We were at camp. And this white guy came up. See, if you went out and see people that don't teach, see, we go out and teach. And if you go out and teach, you actually talk, like I've talked to hundreds of people, maybe thousands, out on the streets, just teaching every week. And what you get a lot of experience in what people think and how people feel and the common thought of this society, just talking to the citizens, just talking to everyday people. And if you talk to them for long enough and you ask them just the right questions, you'll start to understand how they think. And this is one of the reasons why we, as Israelites, understand America. We understand that you don't give a fuck about us. We understand that you don't like us. And this is why our people, so-called Negroes, Native Americans, and Hispanics, they can't understand when we tell them that the so-called white man doesn't give a fuck about you. Because they see the surface so-called white man. They're scientists. They have the surface knowledge of the society and the so-called white man. They don't have the deeper knowledge that comes with talking to them about touchy subjects from time and time and time again. And then talking to different people. See, we have that experience. So we understand how these people really feel when you get past that politeness, that 5 minutes or 10 minutes of politeness. We understand how these people really feel when you really question their motives and the things that they've done in the past. We understand it because we've done it. So back to my little story. We was out there teaching, and this white guy came up. And he was trying to agree, oh yeah, the Trayvon Martin, that was so bad. And, because you have some white people like that. they'll jump on the bandwagon. Everything is so bad. The Negroes have been done so bad, and we had to do so. But they don't really want to do nothing. They just want to say that America, the way America is right now is bad, and we need to come together. That's basically what they're saying. So guy came up, and we're talking, and we're like, we came in slavery. He was like, yeah, that's true, man. You guys came in slavery, and it was so bad. And we're like, yeah, we're still in slavery. He was like, yeah, that's kind of true, man. Everybody, but they always say everybody's in slavery. We're in slavery too. The bankers. It's like, yeah, okay, everything, yeah, you guys that do you bad and shooting, yeah, the Trayvon Martin, I think that was terrible, and this guy and that guy, and that was terrible. But we just gotta unify, man. You gotta unify for America. America has to unify, black and white, and we have to come together. See, his whole objective is not for Negroes to get themselves together and no, it ain't that. It's for Negroes to come together with white people so we can do what we want to, and we can have you do what we want to. Now, as we keep talking, because we know that that's some bullshit what he talking, we keep talking to him. And he thinks that we're his friend. Because that's how, a lot of times, that's how we do. We'll talk to them, and we'll make them feel like, there are a lot of people come up and they tell us how great we are until we tell them they're going into slavery. But we'll talk to them and we'll make them feel comfortable so that we can extract the information that we need so the brothers can see what they need to see. But we kept talking to him, and he was saying he was a vet, and there was a lot of black guys over there fighting, and then he slipped because he got comfortable with us. He slipped and said, yeah, this white America goes to college while the black people, black men, they go fight the wars. Like when I was over there fighting the war, it was mainly black men, and they were dying and this, that, and the other. But white America, they just go off to college. So what is he really saying? He's saying that white America goes to college, and the ones that's really fighting these dumb, stupid ass wars is so-called black people. Now, why does he really want America to come together? Because if America comes together and you Negroes come back and you just be willy-nilly under the so-called white man, you're going to do what the white men tell you to do, because you're going to be pledging allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic with which it stands, one nation under God. You're going to be all into that. So if the white man say, hey, we need to go to war, he's going to send you Negroes to war, and he's going to send his sons to college, and y'all going to be fighting wars and dying while his son is going to college, prospering himself and making the country better. So in the end, all the conversation was about was unifying the so-called Negroes and the so-called white man and everybody in America together so that the so-called white man could rule America and try to rule the whole world, and the so-called Negroes could go fight his fucking wars so he can get that dominance. Let's look at this society, man. And this video gonna be kind of long because I'm just finna fucking talk. Let's look at the society of America. And I ain't even going to pull up no articles, because fuck that shit. Let's look up the society of America. Let's look in the society of America. On the very top, you have the 1% that own, what is it, 90% of the wealth, property in America. You think those black people up there, the filthy, super rich? Ain't no niggas up there. That's straight old white men. And I don't care if you're the average white boy walking around and you're saying, well, I'm not there. That's your people. Your people are ruling this place. All right? And then under them, you have maybe the so-called, you have the upper elites. And then under them, and they all white, Rockefellers, DuPonts, all them motherfuckers. Then under them, you have the rich. You have more rich. All right. Then under them, you got the middle class. And the middle class now is just mainly so-called white people. And under them, you got the poverty, which is Negroes. Now I know you might be saying, well, then what about Jay-Z and Beyonce? That's probably 0.5% of the Negro population. That shit doesn't count. And guess what? They're entertainers. That shit really doesn't count. Okay? So you might as well throw their ass out the picture. Most Negroes not living like them. Most Negroes have the low end jobs, like like uh like retail, fast food. Um, you have bottom end government services and they got the trash people, stuff like that. That's what Negroes are at. And everybody else is above them. Negroes are not satisfied. Most Negroes are not satisfied with their job, man. They hate their fucking job. But yeah, the so-called white people, most of them, they're happy with their job, man. They love their job. Motherfuckers in advertising, they get to draw and do this. You got people working in Silicon Valley. They're working for Google and they just love their job. Most Negroes not doing that shit. We at the bottom end of the job. So Negroes are holding this society up, man. This is what you want in America. This is why the so-called white man, these so-called white people, you don't gotta accept it. You can leave your little badass comments saying I'm racist or you don't know what the fuck you're talking about and oh no, I love black people. You can say all that shit all you want to, but deep down in the bottom of your heart, you know I'm right. Okay? But those Negroes are at the bottom, man. And they're holding America up. And this is what this society wants us to do. That's why every day we take that Pledge of Allegiance to a stupid ass flag. Why would you pledge allegiance to a flag? An inanimate object. That's damn near paganism, man. That's why every morning they make us take this Pledge of Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the Republic, which is supposed to be a democratic nation, as they say today, but to the Republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible. Shit is already divided, but they want you to believe that it's indivisible. It's not divided. It's not divided. You got the Negroes at the bottom, so-called white man at the top, ruling. We get treated like shit. So-called Negroes are holding the society up. And we out there in the streets getting killed by your police officers. And getting written tickets that's fucking us up, man. Alright, this is Isaiah chapter 51, verse 20. It says I'm starting 22. Thus said thy Lord, the Lord and thy God that pleaded the cause of his people. Behold, who is his people? The Negroes, Native Americans, Hispanics, Israelites. It says, I have taken out of thine hand the cup of trembling, even the dregs of the cup of my fury. Thou shalt no more drink it again. What is that talking about? It's talking about slavery. It's talking about this oppression that we're going through. The Most High is about to take this shit out of our hands. That's why we out there teaching every week. That's why we telling you so-called white people that now you about to go into slavery and the Most High God is going to save us. Okay? It says, thou shalt no more drink it again, but I will put into the hand of them that afflict thee, which have said unto thy soul, bow down, that we may go over, and thou hast laid thy body as the ground, and as the street to them that went over. What does this mean? Okay, what does that actually mean? And thou hast laid thy body as the ground, and as the street to them that went over. What does that actually mean? What it means is that the ones that laid their body down and sacrificed their bodies and their lives, they've sacrificed it for another people to live. We came to America on slave ships. We built America. We taught you, so-called white man, about smelting, about carpentry, about agriculture. We taught you these things coming off the slave ships. All right? Not only did we teach you, we did these things for you so that you could establish America, as you say, the greatest country in the world, the richest country in the world. Not only that, all the economies of the world was established off of slave labor and slave trade. Every single bank that is a bank today was founded off the money from slavery. Every old institution was founded off the money from slavery. We laid down so that you may go over. And we're still laying down. And what have you given us for this? Nothing. You've denied it. That's why the scripture said they speak loftily concerning oppression. Yet and still, you want us to do this, pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. You program our children to be your robots, man. So now today, in this day and time, we look at our kids, we look at our peers of Negro, Native American descent, and what do we see? We see homosexuality. Why? Because you programmed them that way. Your society has. We see stupidity and ignorance. We go out and we teach our people and they can't understand what the fuck we're saying to them. Because they don't understand words. Not only that, but they don't understand that this so-called society is not in their best interest. What do we see? We see a industrial prison complex. Alright, that's locking us the fuck up every day. For laws that you created, that's bullshit. And that's Psalms chapter 93. Let's get that real quick. Psalms 94 and 20. Shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee, which frameth mischief by law? And that's what you do. You got laws out here just so you can lock us up. I mean, let's be honest. When you driving on the road, they can pull you over for anything. And a lot of times they twist the laws. Like when I got arrested, they twisted the fucking law. They didn't even arrest me for the law that they said they were arresting me for. They said they arrested me for trespassing. But the law that he said that he could lock me up for was public, it's like public profanity or some shit like that. He didn't lock me up for that because he knew that he could not lock me up for it. But he arrested me because I questioned him on him trying to lock me up for that law. And when he arrested me for trespassing in a public area. So let's be honest. The police twist the laws up and they could just lock us up at any time for any reason. So you frame mischief by law. These laws are not to protect us so-called Negroes. If they were to protect us, we wouldn't be in the jail so much. America is not the biggest country on the earth. All right? And when I say big, I'm talking in terms of population. Yet and still, they lock up just about double the number that every other country does combined. China has way more of a populace than America. Yet and still, America arrests and imprisons damn near double the amount that China does. What does that say about America? And the number one represented in the prison population is the so-called Negro. And then after him, it's the Native American Hispanic. Now, is that in the Bible? Hell yeah. I'm going to get that too. I just got, we have to read these, we got to read these scriptures, so I got to bring these scriptures out. This is Isaiah chapter 44, verse 22. But this is a people robbed and spoiled. They are all of them snared in holes. What is the snared in holes? All these traps y'all got us in. All right? Like everything I just explained on this thing. It says, and they are hid in prison houses. You see that? They are hid in prison houses. Who's the number one representative in the prison? So-called Negro. Who's after him? Hispanic Native American. They are for prey and none delivered. How we for prey? Look at the shit that's going on. You got the Mike Jones. You got the Trayvon Martin. You got countless other names that you just don't know because it's not in the media. Motherfuckers, Orlando just killed a little black dude, what, maybe a month ago? Dang, his name ain't all in the national media. But the shit happened down here. They had another little guy got killed because his music was too loud up there in Jacksonville, Florida. So it says, therefore, pray and none delivered. Who delivering us? Who's saying, no, what you doing to these Negroes are wrong, man? Who's saying, let us give you money back for you building this country? Who's saying, let us help you, man? Who's saying, let us restore the so-called Negroes? Let them stand on the corners and let them teach their people who they are, and let's not interfere with them so that they can restore themselves as a nation. None of you guys saying that shit. You coming up interrupting us, trying to tell us we're racist because we're telling our people that they're the Israelites and that Jesus Christ was black. And that their God is black just like them. But no, you're racist. You're racist because you're telling your people who they are. But then we supposed to believe you when you say you care about us. Ain't nobody jump out and say, "Hey, man, you can't be pulling guns on a regular citizen like that, police officer." And he has his kids and his wife in the car. You can't just pull guns on him. Nobody said that to that police officer. Nobody said he was racist for that. For putting my life in jeopardy. What if he would have got scared and pulled that trigger? My ass would be dead. I wouldn't be talking to you right now. But I'm supposed to believe that America is not racist. It's a nice country. And I'm supposed to believe that every single white person that come up to me is not gonna do me some ill or some harm in the future. You cannot predict, you so-called white people. And based off this is how the society has treated us, why should we believe that you're good people? I'm just talking to you logically. Based off of your history and how you treated us in America, why should we believe that you're going to treat us any different? And why should you be mad that we go out and we teach our people how you treated us and we tell them that you're wicked? Does not your history show that you're wicked and that you've treated us wickedly? And we ain't even talking about 800 years ago. We talking about 100 years ago. We talking about 2 years ago. We talking about 3 months ago. We talking about 2 hours ago. I'm done. So with that, I'm not even gonna talk about no more. I could talk for 2 days about all this shit like that. I could just keep going on and on and on and on and on. But I'm not gonna keep doing it. I think I said something that's worth saying. So with that, I say all praise to YAHAWASHI. Double honors to the elders of Great Millstone. That is my elders. Okay. Peace and blessings to the brothers that go out and teach in truth and sincerity. So with that, CHAARAWTAZA. Say YAHAWASHI, YAHAWASHI, Barakatam, Shalom Akim.